This video depicts topics of violence, murder, and death and is not suitable for all audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
Saint Martin I, also known as Pope Martin I, was born in Todi, Umbria, Italy, around the year 590. He was elected as the 74th Pope of the Catholic Church in 649, succeeding Pope Theodore I. Martin I's papacy was marked by significant challenges and controversies, particularly his opposition to the Monothelite heresy. Here's a brief biography of some of the key elements of St. Martin I's life. Martin I was elected as Pope on July 5th, 649, during a period of great turmoil in the Catholic Church. He was a well-educated and devout man, known for his humility and piety. One of the most significant events during Pope Martin I's papacy was his condemnation of monothelitism, a heresy that claimed Jesus Christ had only one will, the divine will, rather than two wills, divine and human. Monothelitism was propagated by the Byzantine Emperor Heraclius and his successor as a compromise between Monophysite and Chalcedonian positions. However, Martin I staunchly defended the Orthodox teaching that Jesus Christ possessed both divine and human natures, each with its own will. In 649, Pope Martin I convened the Lateran Synod in Rome to address the issue of monothelitism. The Synod condemned the heresy and affirmed the Orthodox belief in the two wills of Christ. Martin's actions incurred the wrath of the Byzantine Emperor Constans II, who supported monothelitism. In retaliation for his opposition to monothelism, Emperor Constans II ordered the arrest of Pope Martin I in 653. Martin I was taken from Rome to Constantinople, where he was subjected to harsh treatment and imprisonment for over a year. Despite his suffering, Martin remained steadfast in his faith and refused to compromise his belief. He was eventually exiled to Crimea, where he died from mistreatment and starvation in September of 655. Pope Martin I is venerated as a saint in the Catholic Church and is recognized for his unwavering commitment to orthodoxy and the defense of the faith against heresy. He is commemorated as a martyr for the faith due to his suffering that he endured during his imprisonment and exile. His fast day is celebrated on April 13th. St. Martin I's courageous stand against monotheism and his willingness to suffer persecution for his beliefs have made him revered figure in Christian history, particularly among those who value doctrinal orthodoxy and theological integrity. Saint Martin I, like many other saints, is associated with various miracles and divine interventions. Although specific details about his miracles may vary depending on the sources, while there isn't any extensive list of miracles attributed to him compared to some other saints, here's just a few notable examples. As with many saints, Martin I is believed to have interceded for the healing of the sick and afflicted. Devotees have attributed healings to his intercession, particularly for those suffering from illnesses and infirmities. These healings are often cited as evidence of his ongoing spiritual presence and intercessory power. There are accounts as well of individuals invoking the intercession of Saint Martin I for protection from various dangers and calamities, whether it be protection from physical harm, natural disasters, or spiritual threats. Believers have turned to Saint Martin in times of need, attributing their safety to and deliverance from his intercession. Some of the traditions attribute miraculous events to St. Martin I, such as the sudden cessation of the storms or the miraculous provision of food in times of scarcity. These stories often emphasize his connection to the divine intervention and the providential care of God. Like many saints, Saint Martin I is believed to have played a role in the conversion of souls through his prayer and intercession. There are accounts of individuals experiencing profound spiritual transformations or conversions after seeking the intercession of Saint Martin I. After his passing, there have been reports of miracles associated with his relics or with individuals invoking his intercession at his tomb or shrine. These miracles often involve physical healings or other remarkable signs attributed to his continued presence and intercession in the lives of believers. It's important to note that while these miracles are part of the traditional veneration of St. Martin I, they are often recounted with a context of faith and devotion rather than strict historical documentation. Nonetheless, they serve as a testament to the enduring impact and spiritual significance attributed to the saint are in the Christian tradition. Saint Martin I's iconography typically depicts him in the attire of a pope, reflecting his role as the head of the Catholic Church during his papacy. While specific details may vary, especially across different artistic traditions, there are several common elements found in icons in artistic representation of Saint Martin I. Saint Martin I is often depicted wearing the traditional vestments of a pope, including the papal tiara, triple crown, which symbolizes his authority as the Bishop of Rome and the leader of the Catholic Church. The tiara is usually adorned with jewels and crosses, signifying his spiritual and temporal authority. In his images, St. Martin I is often shown holding a pastoral staff, also known as a crozier, which symbolizes his role as a shepherd of the faithful. The staff is typically adorned with intricate designs and may feature a cross at the top, representing Christ's authority and the bishop's pastoral care. Like with other saints, Saint Martin I is often depicted with a halo surrounding his head, symbolizing his holiness and sanctity. The halo is typically depicted as a golden disc or ring of light, indicating his heavenly glory and divine favor. Given Saint Martin I's status as a martyr, some icons may include symbols or imagery associated with his martyrdom, such as a palm branches or crown of martyrdom. There, these symbols serve as emphasis to his sacrifice and steadfast faith in the face of persecution. Some depictions of Saint Martin I may incorporate elements that reference the historical events of his life, such as his imprisonment and exile. These details may include chains or shackles representing the hardship he endured for his faith, or scenes depicting his confrontation with the Byzantine Emperor Constance II. Depending on the artistic traditions, or the purpose, of the icon. Additional elements may be included to convey particular aspects of Saint Martin's the First life or spiritual significance. These may include scenes of his precedent over the Lateran Synod or images representing his defense of Orthodox doctrine against monothelitism. Overall, the iconography of St. Martin I reflects his role as a pope, martyr, and defender of the faith within the Catholic tradition. Through symbols and imagery, these icons seek to convey his spiritual authority, holiness, and enduring legacy as a saint of the Catholic Church. The process of sainthood, also known as canonization, for Saint Martin I followed the typical procedures established by the Catholic Church. Here's a brief overview of the steps involved. The process usually begins at the diocesan level, with the local bishop opening an investigation into the life, virtues, and reputation for holiness of the individual in question. Once the bishop determines that there is sufficient evidence to proceed, the candidate is given the title Servant of God. A formal inquiry is then started, also known as the diocesan phase, is conducted to gather evidence about the candidate's life, writings, reputation for holiness, and any miracles attributed to their intercession. Witnesses are interviewed, documents are examined, and a thorough examination of the candidate's life is undertaken. After the diocesan investigation is completed, all the collected evidence is compiled into a document called the Positio. This document presents the case for the candidate's sainthood, including a biography, summaries of witnesses' testimonies, and accounts of alleged miracles. The Positio is then submitted to the Vatican's Congregation for the Causes of Saints for review. The Congregation for the Causes of Saints, a department of the Roma Curia, examines the Positio to determine whether the candidate lived a life of heroic virtue and whether any miracles attributed to their intercession meet the criteria for authenticity. The congregation may consult theologians, historians, and medical experts as a part of the review process. If the Congregation for the Causes of Saints approves the Positio, the candidate may be declared as venerable, indicating that they lived a life of heroic virtue. The next step is the beatification, which requires the documentation of at least one miracle attributed to the candidate's intercession. Beatification allows for limited veneration within the Church, typically restricted to a particular diocese, region, or religious order. To be canonized as a saint, a second miracle attributed to the candidate's intercession is required. Once a second miracle is verified, the Pope may proceed with the formal canonization ceremony in which the candidate is officially declared as a saint of the Catholic Church. Canonization grants universal veneration of the saint throughout the Catholic Church. Saint Martin was canonized as a saint of the Catholic Church through this process. His heroic virtue, martyrdom, and intercessory miracles were recognized and affirmed by the Church, leading to his formal recognition as a saint.